Crocodile. Crocodiles are large semi-aquatic reptiles that live throughout the tropics in Africa, Asia, the Americas and Australia. The term crocodile is sometimes used even more loosely to include all extant members of the order Crocodilia. The word crocodile comes from the ancient Greek, meaning lizard. The lizard of the Nile River. A total of 18 extant species have been recognized. American crocodile, a larger-sized species, with a grayish color and a prominent V-shaped snout. Prefers brackish water, but also inhabits lower stretches of rivers and true marine environments. This is one of the rare species that exhibits regular seagoing behavior, which explains the great distribution throughout the Caribbean. It is also found in hypersaline lakes such as Lago Enriqueo, in the Dominican Republic, which has one of the largest populations of this species. Diet consists mostly of aquatic and terrestrial vertebrates. Classified as vulnerable, but certain local populations under greater threat. Hall's New Guinea crocodile, a smaller species that closely resembles and was long classified under the New Guinea crocodile, which it is now considered to be genetically distinct from. It lives south of the mountain barrier that divides the two species ranges. It can be physically distinguished from the New Guinea crocodile by its shorter maxilla and enlarged postcranial elements. Cranial elements can still widely vary within the species, with populations from Lake Murray having much wider heads than those from the Aramia River. Orinoco crocodile. This is a large species with a relatively elongated snout and a pale tan coloration with scattered dark brown markings. Lives primarily in the Orinoco Basin. Despite having a rather narrow snout, preys on a wide variety of vertebrates, including large mammals. It is a critically endangered species. Freshwater crocodile, a smaller species with a narrow and elongated snout. It has light brown coloration with darker bands on body and tail. Lives in rivers with considerable distance from the sea, to avoid confrontations with saltwater crocodiles. Feeds mostly on fish and other small vertebrates. Philippine crocodile. This is a relatively small species with a rather broader snout. It has heavy dorsal armor and a golden brown color that darkens as the animal matures. Prefers freshwater habitats and feeds on a variety of small to medium-sized vertebrates. This species is critically endangered and the most severely threatened species of crocodile. Morales crocodile, a small to medium-sized crocodile with a rather broad snout. It has a dark grayish-brown color and is found in mostly various freshwater habitats. Feeds on mammals, birds and reptiles. It is listed as least concern. Nile crocodile, a large and aggressive species with a broad snout, especially in older animals. It has a dark bronze coloration and darkens as the animal matures. Lives in a variety of freshwater habitats but is also found in brackish water. It is an apex predator that is capable of taking a wide array of African vertebrates, including large ungulates and other predators. This species is listed as least concern. Dwarf crocodile. It is the smallest of all living crocodiles. It belongs to its own monotypic genus. However, new studies indicate there might be 2 or even 3 distinct species. It is a heavily armored species with uniform black coloration in adults, while juveniles have a lighter brown banding. Lives in the tropical forests of Western Africa. Feeds on small vertebrates and large aquatic invertebrates. It is a fairly terrestrial species and exhibits terrestrial hunting, especially at night. This species is classified as vulnerable. Cuban crocodile. It is a small but extremely aggressive species of crocodile that prefers freshwater swamps. The coloration is vibrant even as adults and the scales have a pebbled appearance. It is a relatively terrestrial species with agile locomotion on land, and sometimes displays terrestrial hunting. The snout is broad with a thick upper jaw and large teeth. The unique characteristics and fossil record indicates a rather specialized diet in the past, preying on megafauna such as the giant sloth. This species sometimes displays pack hunting behavior, which might have been the key to hunting large species in the past, despite its small size. Saltwater crocodile, the largest living reptile and most aggressive of all crocodiles. It is a big-headed species and has a relatively broad snout, especially when older. The coloration is pale yellow with black stripes when young but dark greenish drab-colored as adults. Lives in brackish and marine environments as well as lower stretches of rivers. This species has the greatest distribution of all crocodiles. Tagged specimens showed long-distance marine traveling behavior. It is the apex predator throughout its range and preys on virtually any animal within its reach. It is classified as least concern with several populations under greater risk. Mugger crocodile. This is a modest-sized crocodile with a very broad snout and an alligator-like appearance. It has dark gray to brown coloration. Enlarged scutes around the neck make it a heavily armored species. Prefers slow-moving rivers, swamps and lakes. It can also be found in coastal swamps but avoids areas populated by saltwater crocodiles. Feeds on a wide array of vertebrates. The mugger crocodile evolved at least 4.19 million years ago and has been a symbol for the fructifying and destructive powers of the rivers since the Vedic period. Siamese crocodile, a fairly small crocodile that prefers freshwater habitats. It has a relatively broad snout and olive green to dark green coloration. It feeds on a variety of small to mid-sized vertebrates. The species is critically endangered and already extirpated from many regions, but might be already extinct in the wild. Its other common names include Siamese freshwater crocodile, Singapore small grain, and soft belly. Siamese crocodiles occur in a wide range of freshwater habitats, including slow-moving rivers and streams, lakes, seasonal oxbow lakes, marshes and swamplands. West African crocodile. The West African crocodile, desert crocodile, or sacred crocodile is a species of crocodile related to, and often confused with, the larger and more aggressive Nile crocodile. Compared to the Nile crocodile, the West African crocodile is smaller. The West African crocodile inhabits much of West and Central Africa, ranging east to South Sudan and Uganda. As late as the 1920s, museums continued to obtain West African crocodile specimens from the Southern Nile, but today the species has disappeared from this river. It is less aggressive than the Nile crocodile, but several attacks on humans have been recorded, including fatal ones. Mauritanian traditional peoples who live in close proximity to West African crocodiles revere them and protect him from harm. This is due to their belief that, just as water is essential to crocodiles, so crocodiles are essential to the water, which would permanently disappear if they were not there to inhabit it. West African slender-snouted crocodile, a medium-sized species with a narrow and elongated snout. Lives in freshwater habitats within tropical forests of the continent. Feeds mostly on fish but also other small to medium-sized vertebrates. It is a critically endangered species.